Heightened the fire concerns for us. Red flag warnings again in place. That means burning not a good idea today. And we also have already some of those active current fires up near Jemez, also up towards Gallup. So definitely keep that in mind. Now outside right now, the air very dry. Dew points down in the 20s and 30s for us. A little bit more moisture in the air into our eastern zones. That may help us out with some rain chances later today and into tomorrow. But overall, it's going to be a very dry and windy day. Now, most of us, the winds are under 10 miles an hour, but in Clayton and in Gallup, we do have winds about 12 to 13 miles an hour. And as we go through the day, we're going to continue to see some stronger winds. You can see nearly statewide through the afternoon where you see the shades of blue. That's where we'll have winds 15 to about 25 miles an hour sustained. Looking at gusts at about 30 to 35. But where we have these shades of yellow up in the far north and western corner, parts of southern Colorado, that's where we'll have winds sustained at 30 to even 40 miles an hour at times, with gusts up to 40 and 45. So much stronger conditions. And unfortunately, for areas near Gallup where they're battling that wildfire, the winds are going to be a very big issue again for you today. We'll also be watching for some blowing smoke with the strong winds and then the chance for some dry thunderstorms. Again, most of the moisture that we see today, or most of the storm development we see today, will be on the dry side. So that's not good when we get the dry lightning, but we are going to have the heat and the high fire danger. Then tomorrow, a little bit better chance for some of those wet storms, but mainly to the east. So for today, limited wet storms for us, keeping an eye out for the dry lightning, and we'll also keep that high fire threat around with the red flag warnings up. But out the door this morning, this is when we have the lightest winds. This is when we have the most comfortable temperatures. A beautiful start to the day with the 60s and the 70s. At 63 right now in Albuquerque. We'll be in this mid 70s pretty early on and then heating up quickly. Upper 80s through lunchtime. Then by 5 o'clock, we'll get to about 92 degrees. And you can see the track of the winds definitely increasing through the second half of the day. By 5 o'clock, really 3 to 5 is where we're going to have the strongest winds, southwest 20 to 25 miles an hour, gusts at around 30 to even 35 miles an hour. Again, though, with stronger winds up into the north and west. Area highs, though, today, 80s and 90s for most of us, some triple digits down in Carlsbad. And as we take into parts of southern Colorado, we'll have the 80s with the chance for a spot mountain storm, but most of us will stay dry in parts of Durango and Pagosa Springs into the north and west. It's going to be windy, southwest 25 to 35 mile an hour winds, gusts as high as 45 with temperatures in the 80s. And we'll keep the skies dry. In the southwest, partly sunny skies, a southwest 20 to 30 mile an hour wind with gusts as high as 40. Could get an isolated dry storm, and we could also see that chance repeat tomorrow as well. Something we'll be keeping an eye on. Into the south and east, partly cloudy skies, a spot storm possible. Here in the southeast, so we could get some moisture with it, some actual rain coming down, with temperatures in the mid and upper 90s and also reaching 100 degrees in Carlsbad. Into the northeast today, a spot dry storm possible, still with the winds southwest 20 to 30, a gust at 45 miles an hour with temperatures in the 80s and 90s. Tomorrow again, the chance for dry storms with drier conditions, though, through the end of the week. In the northern mountains, windy with high elevation showers possible. Winds will be southwest 20 to 30 with gusts at about 40 miles an hour, and we'll have those temperatures in the 80s at low elevation. Santa Fe will get to 81 and Los Alamos 81 as well. In the east mountains today, mid and upper 80s with the windy skies, a southwest 20 to 30 mile an hour wind, gusts as high as 40. And into the metro area, partly cloudy skies, low 90s for most, and the southwest wind 15 to 25 miles an hour, gusting at about 35 miles an hour for today. So it's going to be hot and windy, high fire concerns, and that's not just for today, that's for tomorrow as well. We're going to keep the rain chance out of the forecast here in the metro area. Could get some of those darker clouds and hear some rumbles of thunder, but we're going to stay away from the stormy conditions for us here.
All right, horrible news with the wind and the red flag warning
It
for the
is.
acai fire out of the Navajo Nation. 17 square miles already.
Yeah, and the winds yesterday kept the helicopters and the planes out of the skies, so it's going to be windy, almost the same setup as yesterday.
Okay.